Picture this. You're driving to work. Already a little late, already a little stressed. And then it happens. That tiny orange light pops on. Check engine. Your stomach drops, not because you don't know what it means, but because you do. You know fixing it now would cost maybe $300. You also know you have $42 in your bank account until Friday. So you do what millions of people do. You ignore it. You turn the radio up to drown out the rattling. You tell yourself, I'll deal with it later. 2 months go by. Then the car dies, right there on the highway. Now you need a tow truck, that's $200. That small issue you didn't fix? It destroyed the transmission. The repair bill, $2,000. You miss work because you can't get there. You lose $300 in wages. That original $300 problem just turned into a $2,500 disaster. That's not bad luck. That's math. And it's the reason being broke is one of the most expensive states a human can exist in. Most people are taught that poverty comes from bad habits, that wealth comes from discipline. Stop buying lattes. Cancel Netflix. Just budget harder. But that advice completely ignores how money actually works in real life. There's a concept that explains this better than most finance books ever will. It's called the Boots Theory. The idea is simple. A rich person buys one good pair of boots for $50. They last 10 years. A poor person can't afford $50. So they buy $10 boots. Those fall apart in a year. So they buy another pair. And another. And another. After 10 years, the poor person has spent $100. And still has wet feet. The rich person spent $50 and never thought about boots again. That's the hidden tax of being broke. You don't pay less. You pay more, just spread out over time. And this isn't just about boots. Look at your life, groceries, toilet paper, laundry detergent. If you have $50, you buy in bulk and pay 50 cents per roll. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you buy the 4-pack and pay 3 times more for the exact same product. That's not bad budgeting. That's being locked out of economies of scale. Your personal inflation rate is higher simply because you're broke. Now let's talk about where this gets truly brutal. The banking system. If you have $10,000 in your account, the bank loves you. No fees, perks, smiles. If you have $20, a forgotten subscription hits. You go $5 negative. And the bank charges you $35 for borrowing $5. That's a 700% interest rate. If a person did that, it would be illegal. When a bank does it, it's policy. Billions of dollars are made every year, not from wealthy people, but from people with almost nothing. The rich earn interest. The poor pay it. And then people ask, why don't they just make better decisions? Here's what most people don't understand. Being broke changes how your brain works. When you're worried about rent, food, or gas, your mental bandwidth collapses. Studies show your functional IQ drops by the equivalent of missing a full night of sleep. Your brain isn't stupid. It's overloaded. That's why people take payday loans. That's why they buy lottery tickets. That's why they eat fast food instead of cooking. Not because they don't know better, but because survival crowds out strategy. The Boots Theory isn't just financial. It's psychological. The rich don't just save money, they save mental energy. Now zoom out. Cars. A person with savings buys a reliable used Toyota. Low interest. Runs for 10 years. A person with no savings goes to a buy here pay here lot. Overpriced car. 24% interest. They end up paying $15,000 for a $4,000 car. And when it breaks, they're still making payments. That's not irresponsibility. That's a trap. Housing works the same way. Renters often pay more per month than homeowners, but never build equity. Why? Because you need a down payment to buy. And you can't save a down payment because rent eats half your income. So you rent forever. You rent your shelter. You rent your money through interest. You rent your stability. Even your time gets taxed. Laundromats, long bus rides, food, desserts. When you're broke, everything takes longer. Everything costs more effort. And time is the one thing you never get back. So what's the way out? It's not stocks. It's not crypto. It's not getting rich quick. It's stopping the bleeding. The most powerful financial move you can make isn't investing. It's escaping the poverty penalties. Paying off high-interest debt is a guaranteed return. Fixing small problems before they explode is an investment. Buying one thing that lasts beats buying 5 that don't. And this is why that boring advice, save your first $1,000, actually matters. That $1,000 is a buffer. It turns emergencies into inconveniences. It lets you say no to bad loans. It lowers your insurance costs. It lets you buy the good boots. That money isn't there to make you rich. It's there to stop you from being robbed by the system. The hardest part isn't the math, it's the psychology. When you've been deprived for so long, the moment you get extra cash, you want relief. A nice meal, new clothes. Something that makes you feel normal. But every dollar you spend on relief is a dollar that could have bought freedom. This is the shift. Stop asking, can I afford this payment? Start asking, what is the lifetime cost? Because the system wants you focused on monthly payments. That's how it hides the trap. Once you see this, you become dangerous. Not to yourself, but to the companies feeding on fees, interest, and convenience. You stop being a good customer and start being the CFO of your own life. So here's your move. Audit your life for poverty premiums. Where are you paying extra? Because you don't have a buffer. Interest, fees, cheap replacements, time drains. Pick one leak. Then do whatever it takes to plug it, even temporarily sacrificing comfort. That's not suffering. That's strategy. This game is unfair. No point pretending otherwise. But once you understand the math, you stop blaming yourself and start attacking the equation. One good pair of boots at a time. If this opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs it. We talk about success all the time, but we rarely talk about the traps that stop people from ever reaching it. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this. Because once you understand the rules, you don't stay stuck. You walk out. Next up, let's dive into the work scam. Why that $30 per hour gig only pays $4. Just click on this video and I'll meet you there.